Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Dr. Yasar Ayaz. I am a professor of artificial intelligence and robotics at NUST. I am also the chairman and central director for the National Center of Artificial Intelligence of Pakistan, which is the lead national body in the field of artificial intelligence and robotics. So this field of artificial intelligence and robotics has been my passion for many years. I started working on computer programming as early as my school years. I think I was in 4th or 5th grade when I started writing my first codes. And then in class 9th, I actually attempted my first research paper, which I sent to international journal for review at that time. And the journey has led me through various different directions in which I made robots with my own hands. I made algorithms for controlling of the robots, made AI algorithms, and eventually did my PhD from Tohoku University in Japan, which is one of the highest ranked universities of the country of Japan. I think that robotics and AI is a very interesting field for the students of today. It is a field that promises many opportunities, and I think that if you are looking for a strong career, a strong future, and a field that is guaranteed to give you success in many years to come, then this is the field that you should be focusing on. So if you look at the recent surveys, for example, there has been a recent survey by Medium, which actually suggests that 72% of the chief innovation officers of the world top tech corporations actually want AI to be the mainstream area in which they want to focus their attention. The next one is IoT, which is at 46%, then robotic process automation, and so on and so forth. So if you look at all the emerging technologies, actually AI stands at the very center of all of them. And the future with AI is that, apart from having cameras and having instruments and systems and IoTs, which give us information, which give us data, which we compile and then draw meaningful conclusions with, AI will also go into robots, which will be in the field working in, human environments, in our offices, in our homes, in our factories, on a very different kind of framework with artificial intelligence is now introducing, right? So with that generative kind of framework of AI, I think this is the future direction where the world of scientific innovation and research is actually headed. So this is why I think that this is a very promising area for the students of today. And if you want to focus on this area, the area actually evolves very fast as well. So this is one of the highest paced technological domains of the world right now. You can, from the AI point of view, your skills need to be in computer programming and also because like students do Python and C++ and other programming pretty early in their career these days, and also in mathematics, you require skills there. Other than that, you need logical thinking. So a clear logical thinking is also very important, but maths and computer science are the key skills. When it comes to the area of robotics, you should add physics, into that area as well. And of course, mathematics and computer programming still remain critical in that as well. So I think for the artificial intelligence area, generative AI is what students should be focusing on right now. And we all know LLMs, for instance, ChatGPT, Llama, DeepSeek, they're very well-known names. They're household names now. Everybody has them on their cell phones. And apart from being users of large language models, we need to become, cognizant. We have to become aware of how these large language models are fine-tuned, how they are actually based upon foundation models, what kind of structures do they actually have, how do they replicate the kind of data that they've studied before, right? So AI traditionally is trained on a lot of data which scrapes from the internet or from other sources, and based on that, traditionally it used to provide decisions, and now it is providing more data. So this is how the field of generative AI has come into place. I think this is what the students need to be concentrating on right now, not just using the generative AI, but that's the entry point. And later on, students need to know how to program generative artificial intelligence, because that is the future. The field of robotics also, the application area of robotics is because industrial robotics is a very mature subject, and robots are all around the world. In many industries they are deployed right now, and they are actually virtually running entire industrial setup just by robots without having any human intervention in them. But the new area of robotics actually is more of the personalized robotics, personal robotics, or human and robot shared spaces, for instance. So this is the human-centered robotics or human-centered artificial intelligence, which actually is the base for the Industry 5.0 revolution, which we have after 2020 in the world right now. There are two ways of looking at this problem. One is that if you want to master yourself primarily in the area of artificial intelligence and robotics, then this is exactly what the world is looking for right now. So if you look around the world universities, if you look around the direction of the companies, I already mentioned that 72% of the world's chief innovation officers are looking at artificial intelligence as the mainstream fields which they actually want to use in their particular companies. So if companies require more AI, universities try to produce more artificial intelligence graduates, and this is why maximum number of scholarships that you will find in the world right now are in this area of artificial intelligence and robotics. Also, if you don't go for a major exactly in the area of aerobotics, let's say you study materials, or you study mechanical engineering, or you study, for example, fashion, for instance, you are bound to cross paths with artificial intelligence in one way or the other. Even if you're studying media, for instance, you're studying journalism, AI tools like ChatGPT and other forms of AI technologies which are being used to, like ChatGPT is probably the simplest one. You have more complicated tools than that as well, which produce a lot of kind of images and put together things for you. Sora is there, many others are there, which actually put together these technologies for you. So you are bound to cross paths with artificial intelligence no matter what area you step into. But if you want specifically to look at the angle of scholarships, then maximum scholarships you will find in the area of AI and robotics, and even countries are giving special visas right now for people who specialize in AI robotics. There are separate categories of visa where they want to actually get people into their country, because they all know that this technology is actually the key to their progress of their respective countries right now as well. I would encourage students to use free resources like Google Cloud, for instance, or Google Colabs, and AWS and other resources which are Azure is around as well. So you can get free resources for some of them, and some others are actually free to use. So your compatibility with the international resources that you use actually gets more confidence of the international customers when they want you to build some sort of an algorithm. If you deploy it in one of the servers which is in one of their countries, they will probably more easily buy your software. But other than that, also you can actually deploy it locally as well. Like in NUST also, we have local deployments of large language models and generative artificial intelligence here at NUST as well. There are several universities have in some way invested in their own capability in to develop some high performance computing infrastructure, which actually is essential for artificial intelligence. For robotics in particular, the RISE lab in the Department for Robotics and Artificial Intelligence without doubt stands as the leader, and this has the most hardware for robotics as well. And many foreign country students have also come to the labs of this department and practice their work here. I think that the main advice that I would have for the students is to focus on innovation. That's one aspect which many times our schools don't focus on enough. In general, in Pakistan, we are focused more towards complexity in our education rather than innovation. Like in your exam, you won't find many questions related to it. So the way to practice innovation is to think out of the box. You don't limit yourself just to the textbooks. You actually need to start by, for example, watching videos of what latest innovations or inventions are, how the leading tech corporations of the world are innovating, how the tech world is functioning, from where do they get data, how do they derive innovation, what is market research, for instance. So you need to think out of the box. You need to adopt, practice technology, make this a hobby of yourself. If you do that, and if you keep thinking of these things all day long as a hobby, to think of new innovations, let your mind, go free. And if you think like that, then one day you can become that innovator which the world of today demands, actually. And the second important thing is that you have to keep yourself up to date with new knowledge which is being created around the world, because the field of AI and robotics and science as we know it is evolving at a pace faster than it has ever done before, right? So this is why you must keep reading, you must keep follow, for example, the Spectrum, IEEE magazine. There are other science magazines which you can read up, and the channels of Discovery and other tech magazines and tech channels that you can find on TV as well, on YouTube too. So you can keep finding good ways to keep in touch with the latest technological developments of the world. So if you live and breathe new technology, and if you let your mind think freely about how to innovate in science, then that puts you in the right track to become the innovator that education actually is meant to make you, actually.